Roles and privileges give different levels of access to system users. This presentation assumes you have full administration privileges. So what's the difference between roles and privileges? Roles describe a system user's areas of responsibility, such as membership secretary, treasurer, or group leader. By default, Beacon has 5 standard roles that cover most needs. The privileges assigned to a role determine what they can see and whether they have the right to insert, update, or delete data. The basic principle when assigning roles is to give the system user sufficient access to do their job, but no more. This not only protects the integrity of your U3A's information, it also helps maintain the privacy of members' data. You can assign multiple roles to a system user to give them greater access to Beacon. If the standard roles don't suit your U3A's needs, they can be edited and new ones created. So let's take a look at the standard roles. Administrator has the same privileges as the main system administrator. It's a good idea to entrust this role to at least one other person to cover in the absence of the system admin. Group leaders can only see their own groups, but they can add or remove members from their group and send emails to their members. Groups coordinator gets access to all groups and can create new ones. Membership secretary has access to all member records, with the ability to create new members, renew their membership and lapse them. And treasurer has full access to the U3A's financial accounts stored in Beacon. To see the default privileges assigned to the standard roles, search the user guide for the privileges map. The 6 columns on the left show the possible options available for each privilege, whether they can be viewed, created, edited, deleted, or if any other operation such as downloading is permitted. The 5 columns on the right show the privileges assigned by default to each role. For example, only the administration role can view and export data for backup, whereas all 5 standard roles can view and send email. To access roles and privileges in Beacon, select Roles and Privileges in the Setup column at the far right of the main administration menu. This opens the User Roles screen that lists all existing roles. A Y in the right-hand column indicates a role that's on the U3A committee. To edit a role's privileges, click the role name. You'll then see the role record, which shows the privileges assigned to the role. They're listed alphabetically, but finance, groups and membership privileges are in easily identified sections. Each privilege is subdivided as applicable, with separate access rights for viewing records, creating new records, changing existing records and deleting. Note that the privilege to view is required for anyone who needs to create, change or delete a record. In this example, we're looking at the default privileges for a membership secretary. Full privileges have been assigned for address labels and addresses export, but not for the next 2, audit detail and audit trail, which are relevant only to the administration role. To make any changes, tick or deselect the relevant box. Then scroll down to the bottom and click Save Privileges. You can then use the options in blue to return to the main administration menu, the list of system users, the list of roles, and to add a new role. Let's take a quick look at creating a new role by clicking Add Role. Type in your name for the new role. In this example, we're setting up a membership assistant. Then tick the box if they're a member of the committee and add any notes. The notes simply assist others when looking at the role. After making your changes, click Save Role. You're then presented with a blank privileges screen where you can select the privileges you want to assign to the new role. If you want to assign all or most privileges in a column, click the column header. You can then deselect individual privileges, or to clear the column, click the header again. When you've selected the privileges, scroll down to the bottom and click Save Privileges. In this example, we've given the membership assistant most of the privileges of the membership secretary, but without the right to view membership statistics or do anything with polls. After you've saved the privileges for your new role, click Roles List in the options in blue. The new role has now been added to Beacon. You can edit the privileges assigned to this role at any time by selecting Roles and Privileges in the main administration menu and clicking its role name to open its role record. If you ever need to delete a role, open the role record and click Delete Role. Note that you can't undo this once the role has been deleted. So to recap, roles describe a system user's areas of responsibility. By default, Beacon has 5 standard roles: Administration, Group Leaders, Groups Coordinator, Membership Secretary and Treasurer. These cover most needs. The privileges assigned to a role determine what they can see and whether they have the right to insert, update or delete data. The basic principle that should be applied when assigning roles is to give the system user sufficient access to do their job, but no more. You can assign multiple roles to a system user to give them greater access to Beacon. And you can edit roles and create new ones to suit the needs of your own U3A.